Now, some people get butthurt. They get butthurt over the simplest things, ridiculous shit that doesn't matter. But here's the thing. Here's what's really important is the fact that there's a delusion. There's a dystopia in society, primarily in Washington. Biden's on TV the other day, congratulating himself, throwing a party for this Inflation Reduction Act that doesn't actually reduce inflation. Meanwhile, Nancy Pelosi's she's congratulating him with this stupid speech that when she gets done, she has to remind people to applaud. And meanwhile, during this speech, you can see the Dow plummeting. I guess I am misunderstanding what's going on here. Now, I can't blame every particular problem we have on the president. I can't do that because we all know that he's not even in charge. He's a puppet. And Pelosi, I don't even know if she's really there. She's on her way out anyway. So it almost sounded like she was drunk on that clip anyway.
She's been hanging out with her husband too long.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, her and Paul just got hammered. They got slizzard. So, but then, you got people. This was actually a Fox News article. And Cardi B was talking about what are people going to do without a me?
Well, isn't it funny when the smartest one in the room out of the politicians is Cardi B?
Well, I can't necessarily say she's the smartest because then you go into the comments and they're like, wait, didn't she back Biden? Didn't she endorse Biden? Didn't she bash Trump? Wasn't she all for this?
So, but you have to keep in mind that people were elected under false pretenses. And then once the truth comes out, you have every right under the sun to change your mind, to change your opinion, to notice what's going on and be like, hey, wait a second. This is BS. I'm not on board with this. I'm not doing this.
So this is what I'm talking about where people get butthurt because yes, false pretenses. However, if you misinterpret a message, if you misinterpret a thumbnail, if you misinterpret a title, that wasn't a false pretense. Mm-mm. You just weren't paying attention. Mm-hmm. And then you get butthurt about the message that you did and or didn't receive. And then you proceed to go to the comments and want to voice your opinion as if it really matters.
Well, that's that preconceived notion thing. Like you have it in your head, like you see something and you think in your head, okay, this is exactly what it is because of the way you visually or you internalized what you saw, what you read, and then you go watch something or see something and it's not exactly how you expected it to be. So immediately there's something wrong with it, as opposed to the fact that if you just detached yourself from a second and looked at it from a what you heard versus and what you saw together. Oh, okay, I get it. Just take your preconceived notions out of it. It'd be a lot easier.
We've actually seen this a lot more recently on some of the most recent uploads on your channel for the fact that people are not watching and listening and paying attention all the way and then immediately making knee-jerk reactions and responses.
Well, it's because I've gone into making thumbnails. Whereas before, I would just use a screenshot from my video of whatever dumb face I happened to be making that went with the title. But now I'm making so many to choose from. Screw you. But now you're helping me make thumbnails because I do want to reach to a larger audience, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to grow your channel.
It's not even just the reach. There's evolution. There's two sides to this. One, it's evolution of the YouTube and the YouTube algorithm, and it's the evolution of yourself and your channel and making whatever you want to make. Mm-hmm. What do you enjoy? What do you like? What's fun? What works? What gets views? What gets pushed? What gets ignored? What gets likes? What gets dislikes? All of that. Oh, and most importantly, what makes money? Which brings me to the point of money. You were going to say something?
I was going to say that's actually my last thought. And you can tell if you watch my videos, that's the money aspect of any of it is always I don't think about it when I'm recording.
And this is actually something somebody asked me yesterday or commented and they said, how do you have time to do this? And my response was, when you're doing something you love, it doesn't matter. It makes it easier. And if you're really good at it and extremely efficient, as though I would like to think that I am, then it's just easier. But with that being said, when it's all done, the money just kind of works out.
That's true.
Now, with that being said, we're done with that. We're moving on. Back to Cardi B. What if you don't have a me? What if you don't have a rich uncle? What if you don't have a superstar celebrity cousin, sister, daughter, mother, whatever?
Dad, mom.
My
Caitlyn Jenner?
best friend.
Dad, mom.
My best friend just transgendered and now we're engaged.
That was the weirdest topic that I saw. That was me. I saw that one.
But the point is what if you don't have that? But here's the real question. You really shouldn't be looking at it like, all right, yeah, the Inflation Reduction Act doesn't reduce inflation. And it's not who's going to take care of me. It's really more of who really needs help. Because honestly, depending on where you are, who you ask, what circles you're in, yeah, inflation sucks. Yeah, prices are higher. Yeah, it sucks that I have to pay a $50,000 premium to get my allocation for my new Porsche 992 911 GTS, which I'm still working on the color and I'm probably going to go manual. But the point is that depending on who you ask and what circles you're in, it ain't that bad.
If you go manual, I'm stealing it when you're asleep.
It's 6-speed too. None of that 7-speed garbage.
Even better.
So, and that little bronze shifter for the automatic or the PDK.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like depending on where you are, who you ask, what circle you're in, yeah, we understand that things cost more. Yeah, it sucks when you go to Publix and you want to buy the Kodiak protein waffles and they're $8 a box, which is like $1 a waffle, which is stupid. But guess what? You buy them anyway because you want them and you like them. And you want to get your net carbs and your clean protein. But the point is that
how do you know it's clean protein? They're not organic.
It says it on the box. I believe it. Maybe it's maybe it's clickbait. I don't know. But the point is that
oh god,
is it really that bad? Like, Cardi B's talking about what if you don't have a me, and the whole panel on Fox News was saying, yeah, we like none of those folks on that show, on that set, are feeling the pain of inflation. Now, don't get me wrong. I told you, no one's immune to it. But some people feel the pain and others don't.
Some people feel the pain. Some people notice the inflation, though. Just because they don't feel it in their pocketbooks or whatever else doesn't mean they don't notice it. And then they have to go, I guess I won't go full bells and whistles on the yacht. I'll just do a little bit lower.
No.
What I mean?
What they'll notice is that, my crew for my yacht couldn't make it today because they couldn't afford gas. That's how they'll feel it.
Yeah.
That's how they'll feel it. And then they'll send.
And instead of them going, I guess I should pay them more, they'll just bitch and moan about their crew and then fire them and try to find new people.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's like depending on where you are and who you ask and the conversations you have, it's like, if I go to certain places and I say the economy is bad, people will look at me like I have two heads because they're saying, no, it's not bad. I mean, there are some components that suck. Yeah, there's some differences that we see, but we're still making money. We're still buying real estate. We're still building businesses. We're still going on vacation and taking trips and doing additions and building pools and all sorts of things. Like,
oh, you said we. I was like, wait, when did we build anything and put it in a pool? I was like, wait, hold on. See, that's why I can't be distracted. I'm replying to comments.
But that's the thing. It's like, how bad is it really? Sure, there's a collection and a handful of folks out there who are living paycheck to paycheck and barely making ends meet. But that's always been the case. That was even when Trump was president. That was when Obama was president. That was when since the beginning of time, people have always, some have been doing well and some have not been doing well.
Correct.
And even with that being said, most of the people who aren't doing well by now, today, especially in this country, are probably doing it because they chose to. Because they chose to be lazy, because they chose to not try, because they chose to really want and pursue a handout than actually going out and getting it.
I'm glad you used the word some because everything you just said rubbed me wrong. But I used the word some, so I fully understand. There are some who are like that. Okay, yes. Okay, so there are some who are like this. See, that's that thing. Like, I heard it to hear it, but I didn't hear it to listen to it until I played it back in my head. Okay, you are right. Some people are lazy. Some people are where they are because they refuse to do anything to get out of where they are. But others literally get kicked down and crapped on and are trying to get to a better place. And that foothold is just slipping out from underneath them every single time. And through no fault of their own. But hopefully soon, the people that are like that, who are trying, will get that foothold and elevate.
No, you're absolutely right on that one. You're absolutely right on that one. I think it was like Rocky, and it was like it's not about how strong you are, how hard you hit. It's about how much strength you have to take the hit and keep fighting.
Or it's not how many times you get knocked down, but how many times you get back up.
Either
I'm
way,
pretty sure it's one of those.
either way, but that's the thing. It's like, how bad is it really? And is it really that bad because of Biden? Is it really that bad because of Russia and Ukraine? Or has it always been that bad? And now we're just pointing the finger because that's what we do.
Or because it started years ago and now it's finally all just, come to a head is the phrase, right? Like it starts and then it and then pff.
I think it's what's trending. It's what everybody wants to talk about.
Everybody needs a scapegoat.
Everybody wants to have an opinion. And here's the other thing. It's like, oh, well, this is what you voted for.
That's my favorite. When people get in my comments and go, well, you voted for it. How the hell do you know who anybody voted for unless they're wearing a I voted for blah, blah shirt?
But that's the thing.
It's not based on color. Side note, by the way.
Even if it's what you voted for, there's plenty of evidence to show that what you got wasn't what was advertised.
Yes.
Plenty of lies and deception there. But at the end of the day, this is who you voted for, regardless, whoever wins, the other side lost.
Yeah.
So we're continuously creating this divide to distract everyone from what's really going on, for the simple fact that is they don't give a shit about us. Mm-mm. All they care about is them and their parties and patting themselves on their back and standing on podiums and giving their speeches and reminding people that you can applaud now. That's a good thing. We did good.
It's easier to keep people fighting and not paying attention if you want to do your own thing kind of off in the side. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, as long as we're fighting amongst each other, we're not fighting against them.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because they pretty much know that if that were to actually happen, how bad that they would lose. So they have to continuously brainwash folks and trick them into wanting to fight each other, mm-hmm. and or trick them into thinking that something good is about to happen.
Silver lining. I always say there's a silver lining, but
something was it White House press secretary? She said, "Yeah, the gas prices have come down every single day this summer." That's a lie. That's a lie.
Unless like that one gas station dropped it a penny.
That's a lie. But even still, so what if it came down after you sent it to the moon?
You sent it to the moon. It's still higher than it was before it started going up.
Yeah, and that's just it. And it's like, oh well, things are getting better. We've got literally 60 days to solve a problem with the railroad union. What should we do? Me here, Mr. Biden here, I got a suggestion. Maybe we should just wait 59 days.
And then let's
let this fall apart for 59 days and then let's do something about it. And then people will thank us. It's a
everybody likes to cheer for what happens at the last minute.
The government, they're good at making solutions to problems that don't exist to make themselves appear as though they're doing their job. They're doing something for you. They've earned your respect. They've earned your vote.
But you forgot that for 59 days, they twiddled their thumbs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, no, I didn't forget.
No, not you. The people who are cheering for the resolution.
Yeah. The pain and the stress and the worry of, think about all the workers, the railroad workers, union employees that didn't want that to happen. They would have kept the terrible working and pay conditions that they had versus potentially not getting a paycheck indefinitely, while someone else is out there playing games with their lives and with their money.
I actually put up a community post, which was a comment from a railroad worker. I put it up. It got a lot of views and it got a lot of comments. And some of the comments were basically, if you go on strike, that's selfish because then you're hurting the whole country. Well, if I was a railroad person, screw the whole country. Like, at some point, you have to look out for yourself. That's what everybody talks about, right?
Yeah, but if you go on strike, or is it if your company forces you to go on strike? For instance, if
a union worker,
for instance, they had negotiations. Yeah. They had 60 days. They've been working on this for 3 years. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine if you weren't part of a union? Can you imagine if you had a disagreement with your employer about your pay and they quit paying you? And what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to quit showing up. Really? Or is that like, are you selfish because you quit showing up to work and now certain things aren't getting done and this, that, and the other? Or is it the other way around where the employer, the company, is to blame because they quit paying you like they were supposed to?
Exactly. So the people who are like these railroad workers, they're being selfish and they're only thinking about themselves. Well, no, but yes, but it's like that weird little circle.
It's not a one-sided conversation. No. There's two sides here.
Yeah.
You got granted, the railroads are killing it on their profits, but
the railroads are killing it on their profits, which is what you guys seem to miss. The railroads, not the workers, the railroads, the people who own all this shit. They're the ones who are raking it in. And while the railroad workers are sitting there going, I haven't seen my family in 6 months. I make enough money to pay for everything, but nothing above it. Like I don't have savings. I don't have anything else. I haven't seen my family. That's all they're asking for is like the ability to save money and see their families. And the railroad owners are like, I don't know. If we give you that, then that means I can't go on this trip that I want to go on for the next 6 months.
I think it's jacked up that it was so many years without any form of increase or better working conditions, especially in light of the economic conditions that we face with inflation and everything that's going on with price increases across the board. But with that being said, does that mean that businesses should only be in business to prop up their employees? Or should businesses be in business for the main reason that you're in business in America, to take advantage of capitalism, to make money, to make profit? Which, interesting enough, I watched a video, I think it was Valuetainment, and he gave a breakdown. And we really shouldn't be upset with businesses, especially when government steps in and tries to tell businesses how they should operate, because he did a breakdown on what it would cost, or what it actually did cost SpaceX, Elon Musk, to send a rocket into space in comparison to what it would cost NASA.
Okay.
Elon Musk, $300 million.
Okay.
NASA, government funded. NASA said it would be anywhere from 1.7 to 5 billion.
Oh, because taxpayer money.
To do the same thing. Yet we want to fault businesses for making profit when they're more efficient than government.
Yeah, well, who isn't more efficient? Our dog's more efficient than the government, and look at him.
But I mean, that's just it though. It's like, what's the real problem here? And are people really struggling, or is this just like a small segment of the population, or is this just something that Fox News is just throwing around out there, assuming that people are going to agree with? And maybe so. Maybe people are struggling because they make $200,000 to $300,000 a year, and they spend 1.5 times more than it every year, so putting themselves in a deficit.
Struggle is different for every person. Some people are struggling because of legit economic factors and things like that, and others are struggling because of greed and whatever else. There's definitely different types of struggle, and like, which one do you help? Personally, I wouldn't help the person who makes $300,000 a year and spends $600. I would help the person who makes $30,000 a year and tries as hard as humanly possible not to spend that much, but still be able to eat.
Well, the only help that the high income earner needs that spends more than they make is
learning how to budget.
Is education. Yeah, they don't need money.
No, they don't need money.
If they get more money, they'll just spend more money.
Exactly.
And I guess that's part of the problem, is that the rich spend money like they're poor, and then some of the poor spend money as if they were rich. But True. Then some that could be rich just choose to be poor because they have no financial education, no discipline whatsoever. Mm-hmm. And then if the poor had more money, they would be so much better off because they're not going to waste it.
Not always. You see people who win the lottery and the first thing they do is go out and blow it all because they have money. Like they've never had money before. And, I can finally do this, get this, buy that, drive that, live there. You know what I mean? And then the next thing you know, 12 months later, they're like, well, it was fun while it lasted, and now they're bankrupt and their house has been foreclosed.
It's not, speaking about winning lottery, I mean, that's like getting drafted. That's like, first round pick or whatever, going pro, football, baseball, basketball, doesn't matter. And then you get an injury, or, you fizzle out, or you just make poor decisions, and now you don't have a contract anymore. And after all the millions of dollars that you had under contract, you're broke.
Completely off topic, but still sort of on topic. Wesley Snipes, who went to jail for tax evasion. Like, you're making millions of dollars and you don't want to just pay your taxes so that you don't have to sit in a jail cell for years?
Yeah, there was a channel I watched. I can't remember the young guy's name, and it was a young.
That's helpful.
Yeah, young black guy. Yeah, I guess he should have made his name Squirrel Nest. Then I would have remembered it. Because, whatever. The reason why I don't remember is because I came across it by chance and I didn't subscribe to the channel, but he did say something that was relatively interesting. He was a young black kid and he had like 2 million subscribers. He had every car you could think of imaginable in his driveway. But he said, look, I learned the importance of credit. I learned the importance of money, which isn't actually real. It's just a tool. It's only worth what someone else is willing to give you for it. That's all it is. It's just another bartering tool. But he said the most important thing is, he goes, if you want to make it, you better make sure you give the government their cut. Otherwise, they're going to come get you.
Which is very true. Wesley will tell you.